should name them. Name them.
Amanda Land.
Fascists are not your friends. Fascists are not your friends. Fascists are not your friends. So you should name them. Name them.
Good afternoon, children. I am Leroy the Leftist, and I am here to teach y'all about what a fascist is. Now, I know that there's been a lot of talk going on that a lot of people don't understand. And so I said, you know what? I'm going to come on here and I'm going to help the children and I'm going to help the people understand so that we can understand what we need to be understanding. That fascists are not your friend. Fascists are not your friend. And so Leftist Leroy is here to talk about how we can move beyond this and how we can make sure that we can point out and name the fascists that are acting as if they're your friend when in actuality, they are not your friend. Are you following me, children? All right, let's get into this. Now, let me put on my gloves since we about to handle something real right now. All right, we about to handle something real right now. Okay. Now, when we talk about fascism, first we need to acknowledge what is fascism. Fascism is a far right. This is the actual definition, so don't think I'm just making this up. Fascism is a far-right, authoritarian, and ultra-nationalist political ideology and movement characterized by a dictatorial leader, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition, belief in a natural social hierarchy, subordination of individual interests for the perceived good of the nation or race, and strong regimentation of society and the economy. In opposition to anarchism, democracy, pluralism, egalitarianism, liberalism, socialism, and Marxism, fascism is at the farthest of the rightist of the traditional left-right spectrum. Children, do you understand? Do you follow what I'm saying? Are we on the same page of what I'm saying? Good, because we got a lot more pages to be turning. When we say fascists are not your friend, we need to point out the individuals that are currently in a power position in office that are actively performing as fascists so that we can identify and name them so that we can shift them. Let's begin. First, let's start. This lady right here is a fascist. Her name is Karoline Leavitt. Now, she is the White House press secretary. This role is a senior position whose official primary responsibility is to act as spokesperson for the executive branch, especially with regard to the president, senior aides, and executives, as well as government policies. Let's take a listen to this individual right here and how she has shown up. Let's take a listen. Well, first off, I need to make sure I had a video of this individual. So we gonna make sure that we get that going on. Because for some reason, I don't have any of this where it's supposed to be. So we gonna get it right now. Now, this lipless lovely is one of the most confident dummies I have ever witnessed. She can barely write a comprehensible tweet and is also loudly and famously racist. Let's listen to something that she recently said while she was in her position as White House press secretary. And you tell me if you think she represents being a fascist.
When you are flying on an airplane with your loved ones, which every one of us in this room has, do you pray that your plane lands safely and gets you to your destination, or do you pray that the pilot has a certain skin color? I think we all know the answer to that question, and as President Trump said yesterday, it's common sense.
Now, I don't know about y'all, but that sounds like someone who's fascist to me. Can anybody tell me where they see the fascism in that statement so that we can point out these individuals? Children, I will wait. Now tell me, remember, the definition of a fascist includes characterized by a dictatorial leader, centralized autocracy, militarism, forcible suppression of opposition, belief in a natural social hierarchy, subordination of individual interests for the perceived good of the nation or race, and strong regimentation of society and the company. Can anybody tell me what this woman is doing that shows that she is fascist? I'll wait. Yo-hoy, yo-ahoy, conflating safety with color. That is correct. That is an example of how they are pushing fascist rhetoric by conflating safety with color. Maeve says hiding motives. That is correct. Adrena says suppression. That is correct. We also have Adrian who says she believes in a natural hierarchy, that it doesn't matter if the pilot is black, thus we don't need DEI, even though this is a nation that has actively done DEI in the reverse. Okay? Also, we can also put in here, now this is a real good one, Laurel Hendrickson coming through, assumes everyone prays. That leads right into the fascist mindset of unnaturalist political ideology and movement. Belief in a natural social hierarchy has also been mentioned, as well as a dictatorial leader and forcible suppression of opposition. So this was a great example. And yes, this is a lady who absolutely is a fascist. And we always have to remember that fascists are not our friends. Fascists are not our friends. Let's go to the next person. Are y'all still with me, class? Please let me know if y'all are still with me, class, before we go to the next person. The next person is the border czar. All right? This is the border czar. His name is Tom Homan. Tom Homan is the border czar. Now, let me tell you something. According to Trump, as border czar, this man is in charge of the southern border, the northern border, all maritime and aviation security, as well as all deportation of illegal aliens back to their country of origin. Nowadays, the term czar, spelled C-Z-A-R, is used by the headline writers as well as by the White House to describe an official that a president designates to coordinate the government's response to a specific issue, usually one that is time sensitive. Now, this bumbling fool who can barely get a sentence out of his mouth because it is so tied up with his fascist rhetoric has said many things that let you know that he is a fascist. Aside from telling NYC's Mayor Adams, who is a coon, on national television that if the NYPD didn't assist ICE, that this man right here said, and I quote, will put his foot up his butt. He has also said that he's going to come for the people of Boston. Now, let's take a listen to what he had to say about the people of Boston.
I read a story last night, the police commissioner of Boston. You said you doubled down on not helping the law enforcement officers of ICE. I'm coming to Boston. I'm bringing hell with me.
your friend. Now tell me, what about this man makes him a fascist? Put it in the comments. Now, this is an individual who has let you know very clearly that he is going to do whatever he want to do regardless of the law. This is an individual who is extending his power beyond the merits of his control. This is somebody who is going to Boston. And let me just tell you, Boston ain't no joke. Boston got mafia. And I want to know if when he goes to Boston, are the Irish, the Italian, the Russian, and the Haitian mafias gonna meet him with anything less than the energy he's coming with? Because I can tell you that they ain't there for play. Now, what is playing is my damn goatee. My goatee is absolutely playing. But we gonna keep on going because I don't play. Now, we have to make sure that we are always paying attention to the fascists that are among us. Because the fascists that are among us are always paying attention to us. Do you agree, class? It is important for you to agree because I am right. Let's take it to the next fascist. Because remember, fascists are not your friend. Fascists are not your friend. Angela said he believes he is above the law. That is right. That makes him a fascist. Okay? Goddess says, is there a way to stop ads during the show? It's not super savvy. No, but that is how I get paid. Because I am not a fascist and I won't steal the money. I got to make the money somehow to support myself. Italians don't play around. Can anybody else say why this man is a fascist? Nia said, undermining local elected officials. That is correct. That makes him a fascist. Cynthia said being on a CPAC conference is fascist. That is absolutely correct. And Eric said, unrelated, Boston is racist AF. That is absolutely correct. Rena B adds, repression and use of harmful ideology. Y'all are paying attention. Y'all are paying attention. Fascists are not your friend. Fascists are not your friend. And you need to always remember that as we continue to go on to the next person who is a fascist. And that is the Secretary of Defense. Now, this is a role that normally is supposed to be reserved for people at the highest level of military experience. The Secretary of Defense is the person who is basically in charge of advising and implementing the president's goals in the area of defense. The last several secretaries of defense have been ranking military who were also CEOs of defense weapons companies. This individual right here is Peter Hegseth. He goes by the name of Pete. He was not in the same position as those who came before him. In fact, he was a host on Fox News. He was in the National Guard. Now, he has zero experience, and when asked in his hearing if the president said he wanted you to shoot protesters, would you do it? And you know what he said? Do you know what he said? He said no. That makes him a what? A fascist. Now, some of y'all might also be wondering, is Amanda going to play a video of this individual? And my answer is no. You know why? Because I played a video of this individual yesterday. I have seen enough of him talking his nonsense for 1 week. So no, I'm not going to play a video of this individual. However, what I will do is I will show you that this individual was actually taken out of the National Guard because he has tattoos. Now, you might be like, Miss Seals. You might be like, Larry. I forgot that I'm Larry. You might be like, but Larry, why would tattoos make him have to go out of the military? Well, that is a very easy question from me, Larry the leftist. The answer is because his tattoos are representative of organizations that are dangerous and have been deemed problematic to the American experiment. Yes, he is a member of organizations that are Christian nationalists. And so he was actually removed from the National Guard because he was reported as a possible insider threat due to his nationalist tattoos. Now, Leroy don't have no tattoos like that. Leroy would believe that anybody with tattoos like that is going to be a problem. Now, let me tell you something. That is a very serious example of a fascist. He already had them on the body, and now he's in the body of the government. Can anybody tell me what makes this individual a fascist besides these elements? Would anybody like to add that? That is correct, Crown Prince. Larry is my middle name. And sometimes I interchange between Leroy and Larry, depending on what mode I'm feeling like. It's like Tyrese and Black Tie. Depending on what mode he's feeling like is going to determine whether or not he's going by Tyrese or Black Tie. Now, somebody said the jacket. The inside of his jacket is what makes him a fascist. And I'm going to say that is not incorrect. That is not incorrect. Let's see. Anybody else? Anybody else got an example of why this person, as the Secretary of State, as the Secretary of Defense, has demonstrated that he is a fascist? You know what? I'm not even going to wait for y'all. I'm not even going to wait for y'all. I'm going to tell y'all the answer. Once he said that once he didn't say no when he was asked would he harm protesters if he was told to, that lets you know that he is a fascist, because ultimately he is going along with the far-right authoritarian ultra-nationalist political ideology and movement characterized by a dictatorial leader. Subordination of individual interests for the perceived good of the nation or a threat. This is an individual who is absolutely worth nothing as beyond his loyalty to Donald Trump. Now, last but not least, when we are talking about fascists, we have to remember that they don't always have to come in one color, okay? Fascists can come in many colors, and they don't have to be at the job of the president. They can come in other jobs. So it is important for us to note that this fascist coming up next is not in the cabinet. However, he has been put in position because he is a supporter of the president. And that person is Kash Patel. Not to be confused with Cash Me Outside. Now, Leroy the leftist look at somebody like this and says, this is an individual who we should watch out for. He got crazy eyes. When somebody got crazy eyes, you should make sure that you are paying attention to him. You should make sure that you are watching your 12 and your 6, your 3 and your 9. This individual, Kash Patel, is the director of the FBI. I'm not going to bother explaining what the director of the FBI is because y'all already know it is the FBI director. That is self-explanatory. Now, this person is a self-hating Indian man. I don't know why he has golfers on his tie for this photo. It don't make no sense. But much of what he says don't make no sense. Let's take a listen to what this individual has to say.
Anyone that wishes to do harm to our way of life and our citizens here or abroad will face the full wrath of the Department of Justice and the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And if you seek to hide in any corner of this country or any corner of this planet, we will put on the world's largest manhunt and we will find you and we will decide your end state, not you. We will uphold the Constitution. We will uphold ourselves to the Constitution. The men and women at the FBI, I have your back because you have the backs of the American people.
That is concerning. That is concerning. concerning because the way that he is talking is not actually about what y'all is thinking. If you think, well, that sounds like somebody that's going to protect us. No, that is somebody that is only going to protect the president's idea of what is worthy of being protected. Now, if you cannot make those ideas together with yourself, then you have not been paying attention to teacher Ms. Amanda Seals. And me, Leroy the Leftist, want you to be paying attention. This individual right here has an Arya Stark list of folks that he feels need to get taken down. And I don't know why the entire cabinet of this administration is made up of people that clearly got bullied and are coming back. Instead of it's the revenge of the nerds, this is the revenge of the losers. That's what it is. They are psychopaths, they are sycophants, and they got crazy eyes. Now, I said that was the last one, but you know what? I'm going to give y'all a bonus. I'm going to give y'all a bonus because I want to make sure that when Larry the Leftist leaves here, that y'all done learned a thing or two. And so, I want us to talk about the job of the Attorney General. The job of the Attorney General. We'll come back to that. The job of the Attorney General goes to Pamela Bondi. Let's listen to what Pamela Bondi got to say. Actually, you know what? I don't got Pamela Bondi today. You know what I do got, though, is I got this fool right here. Now, this person has been named as the FBI something or other. And what we don't really know is why. Because this individual is a podcast host. This individual is somebody that literally was a Secret Service agent and is now a podcast host. But he has made it his business to be continuously committed to the Trump movement for this purpose. And I'm glad that he got his due. Now, you know that this is a man with a white mama. I put money on it. Donald Trump said, great news for law enforcement and American justice. Dan Bongino, a man of incredible love and passion for our country, has just been named the next deputy director of the FBI by the man who will be the best ever director of the FBI, Kash Patel. Dan has I want you to listen to this description. Dan has a master's degree in psychology from the City University of New York and an MBA from Penn State. He was a member of the NYPD, New York's finest, a highly respected special agent with the United States Secret Service, and is now one of the most successful podcasters in the country, something he is willing and prepared to give up in order to serve. Working with our great new United States Attorney General Pam Bondi and Director Patel, fairness, justice, law, and order will be brought back to America. Let Leftist Leroy be the first to tell you, if not the last. Fascists are not your friends. And all of these individuals are fascists. And you need to know their names. And you need to pay attention to what they're doing if you want to make sure that you do everything you can to stop it. Remember, kids, fascists are not your friends. Till next time, stay powerful, stay grounded, stay knowledgeable, and stay to the left.
Amanda Land. Fascists are not your friends. Fascists are not your friends. Fascists are not your friends. So you should name them. Name them.
I had so much fun doing that intro. I enjoyed laughing and learning with you. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And tell your friends. Also, listen to the podcast. It's available everywhere pods are casted. Listen ad-free by subscribing to Patreon Amanda Seals. Come on and join the Seals Squad. Views from Amandaland, live 10 a.m. Eastern, Monday through Wednesday, with content on Thursday and Friday at YouTube Amanda Seals TV.